Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator, actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Welcome and good evening, you wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8, your tsundere streamer who doesn't stream. Last time on Dragon Ball Z, Maria was about to go Super Saiyan. My eyes. One of the two great witches of marriage sorcery, Maria, though she was just an apprentice, the power sleeping within her had impressed even Beatrice at the height of her strength. In Maria's eyes, though Rosa may have been the Black Witch, she was also the vessel of the mother she couldn't help but love. Her anger at having that stolen from her was near madness. You dare to, Mama. Mama, Mama. Maria's attack was too emotional. Because of this, she didn't notice that Cannon had vanished for several heartbeats, and she released her barrage at what had become an empty space. In the meantime, Cannon jumped from wall to wall around to Maria's back. I don't want to kill past my quota. But I'll clean up the messes I've made. Hi, Sakutaro. We haven't seen you in a long time, man. How you doing, buddy? Who are you? What are you? Diplomatic immunity. I won't let you target Maria or me. Damn. The red curved blade extending from Cannon's hand vanished in an instant. He tried hard to make it reappear, but when he attempted to use it on Maria and Sakutaro again, it vanished once more. Because of Sakutaro's power, he was unable to make either of them the target of his attacks. There you are. How long have you been there? Are you? I won't let anyone bully Maria. Damn it. Maria finally noticed what Cannon was, and she slowly turned around. Cannon made his sword materialize yet again. But no matter how often he tried, it kept fading out like a flashlight with a bad battery. I won't let you get away now. I won't forgive you for the sin of stealing my mama away. I'll kill you, just like Mama killed all of them. I'll kill you without mercy. As Maria howled, the entire parlor was surrounded by a cube of red magic barriers. It was a closed room symbolizing a barrier that Cannon could never escape. Damn it! Not here. Cannon cursed his bad luck. Even though he had fulfilled his goal in the demon's trial, if he was killed here, he'd be dragged off the game board. Maria, don't overdo it. Yeah, I won't overdo it. I'll be a little more gentle than Mama was. My eyes. Huh? Uryu, who is it? Pardon me, Maria-sama. In accordance with the contract with Zappa-sama and Furu-sama, I come for your life. I come for your... Shannon, don't get in my way. It's pointless, Shannon. I won't let anyone target Maria. Yes, I don't intend to target her in any way. I will simply protect myself. A cylindrical red magical barrier surrounded Shannon as she stood in the center of the parlor. She made its brightness and thickness grow, and its radius suddenly expanded, filling up the room. It wasn't targeting Maria. This power was being wielded to protect Shannon's body, so Sakutaro's power didn't make it disappear. This reminds me of that one episode in the chapter Black Saga where Kurama defeats a person. He has multiple powers, one of which being allowed to force word games to affect reality. But his other power is that it completely negates any and all violence. No one can do anything that's considered violent. And Kurama overcame, well, not directly against the person whose power, because his power was like Sakutaro's. It denied anyone hurting anyone in the area of effect, at least from direct violence. Now, the person whose power this was, he still was beaten by the word game itself. But one of the people that was working with him, well, he was there assisting. And the person who was assisting was defeated by Kurama. He used some vines from the ceiling to gently pick the person up and then gently drop them hard enough to where they just fell and hit the ground. It's a loophole. Same regard, this shield won't directly attack Maria, but it will probably press her against the wall and crush her like she's inside a garbage truck. Or like, remember Saw 5, the ending of that movie? So Sakutaro's power didn't make it disappear. Nay-san, would you let your feelings, my lady, collapse in a situation like this? Get a hold of yourself. Gargle. Oh. By now, the shield with Shannon at the center had covered up the entire room. Its power crushed Maria and Sakutaro into the corner. Ironically, they were perfectly wedged between Shannon's barrier and the closed room barrier Maria had set up to prevent Cannon from escaping. No, good. Can't escape. Maria, can't you just let go in your barrier? Cackle. Well, you seem confident. I see. This is a closed room. This might be just perfect for that wannabe detective who's trying to deny Beato's magic. Checkmate, Maria-sama. Is that acceptable? Yeah, it's fine. Crush me. Laughter noises. Then here it comes. The entire room was filled with the red light of the shield, and the output and pressure were raised to their limits, then crushed between the shield and their own closed room barrier. Maria and Sakutaro lost their forms, scattered into a golden splash, and disappeared. Thank you. I couldn't afford to disappear here. If you lost in a place like this, you wouldn't be able to let it go. Yeah, I wouldn't give up if I lost in a place like this. Zepa-sama Fofo-sama, we have both finished our trials. Is that satisfactory? Yeah, truly splendid. No complaints for either of you. Then shall we finish with Beatrice's turn? Or where did she go? To the victim she has chosen, of course. Then let's go there as well. I feel like whatever accent I'm trying for them is not working. I'm just trying to make whatever voice I think they would make. Really? Okay. I almost half guessed it was going to be Natsui, but I'm surprised to be... Natsui could be seen in her personal room. Kraus had told her to go to bed, but she couldn't afford to lie around sleeping on an important day like this. However, she realized that she was the type to get excited easily, and this was sometimes held her husband back. So, though she didn't like it when bed, there was no way around it. It was probably close to the time for the break to end, and the family conference would begin once again in the dining hall. Her husband would have to protect the Ushiromi family honor from those greedy siblings, all by himself. As she grew emotional by his side, she would just tie him down, though she knew that quietly waiting here was the best way that she could support him. That didn't make the waiting any easier. Natsui pulled a small treasure box out of a drawer. This was her secret box. Inside was everything valuable items from mere rubbish. However, they were all precious, memorable treasures in Natsui's eyes. She pulled a small pouch out of the box. She struck her hand inside it. It was a kind of charm that her own family had given her when she married, a spirit mirror to ward off evil. Her own face was reflected in it. Youth doesn't last forever. Recently, she'd seen a bit of her parents and grandparents on her own face, so by staring at the reflection of the mirror like this, she felt as though her soul had returned to the family she had been born into. Dad, Mom, I've always been so ignorant and unable to support my husband. Of course, her face in the mirror did not answer. However, Natsui continued. I wait here alone because I love my husband. However, I think love means being close to one another. Though I understand logically that staying here is the best way I can help him, I still feel wretched for doing it. It's tough, isn't it, waiting for the sake of love? With a plop, a tear fell onto the mirror. Old, dear memories of her life at the parents' house rose up inside her. Now was the time for her to follow her parents' example. When her father came home late, her mother would always sit up straight, waiting for him, prepared for him to arrive at any moment. She would always wait for him, kneeling in the entrance hall, and no matter how late he came home, she would always wake up all the children and line them up to greet him. At the time, I only thought of her being as exceptionally strict, but at this age, I finally understand how strong she was, persevering, and her love for her beloved husband, even after being left in charge of the house while he was out. Because of your love for your husband, you couldn't bear to be made to care for an unfamiliar child. ? The sudden voice made Natsui jump up and look about the room. When she did, there was a Western lady wrapped in an extravagant dress.